Wow, what a revolutionary life-saving movie of a group of non-binary beings who go by the preferred term trans. Formers who use their ability by transforming into male to female to sometimes even inanimate objects like an automobile by manipulating and removing certain parts of their body. And then they use that power to fight off the evil forces within to end the lifelong war of identity and save their world from oppression to obtain their ultimate goal. Diddling children. Wait. God damn it, did I watch the wrong movie again? I'll be back in 2 hours. Okay, so I just watched Transformers Rise of the Beast, and it's a movie. I honestly don't know how they're still making these. They haven't really done anything different. So the interest in these movies still baffles me. Just like one of the trailers before this movie started was for a new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. How there's still an audience for this thing? Is it really still that popular? What kids know about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I must be living under a rock. Well, they took another crack at Transformers, and I think it's time to take a break. The Earth can only be at the brink of destruction so many times. Alright, so let's take a deep dive into this sophisticated and complex story. This movie starts off with a young person trying to find their place in the world, and they stumble upon an Autobot that conveniently awakens upon obsession due to an incoming threat that'll destroy Earth. Sounds familiar, right? Well, that's because it's the exact same plot as Transformers and Bumblebee. Except, this movie doesn't have a legitimate talent or Megan Fox. Megan Fox. But instead has her. And I'll get to her later. Don't you worry. Luckily, this movie didn't have any politics shoved in your face unless you count the two actors, but that's a whole other discussion. Movie starts off on a planet of the Maximals, another variant of Autobots, I think. I thought the planet design was cool and fitting, looked like a prehistoric Earth, and the Maximals took on the shape of a hawk, gorilla, rhino, and a jaguar, which really confused me because they're animals specifically native to Earth, and they live on a different planet in a different solar system, maybe in a different galaxy, so why are they Earth animals? I'm not a Transformers nerd, so it very may be following source material, but as a viewer with no knowledge of the source, is just confusing. At least in the first film, when the Autobots came to Earth, they looked like generic robots, and then they scanned some cars and took the appearance as them. But they never explained it in the movie unless I missed it. Anyway, some planet-eating machine called Unicron was coming to destroy theirs, but also obtain some bullshit transportation key that opens up a vortex to other planets in the universe. Which brings up another question. Why are they so eager to save their planet? Like with us, we do a horrible job saving our own planet, but let's say we do. We actually need our planet because we can't go to another one. Earth right now is all we got, and we need oxygen to survive. But these guys, the Maximals, don't need oxygen, have a bullshit teleport device that can take them to any planet, and their planet right now doesn't look anything specific for them to live in. Plus, there's like 5 of them. Why are they so eager to save it? Unless it's more of a sentimental thing, or if they take on the responsibility of being the saviors of the universe, but they didn't really take that until later on in the movie when they landed on Earth, so you gotta give us a better reason on why they need to save their planet. At least Cybertron looks like a planet the Autobots need. Anyways, there was a pretty cool entrance of the new villain. Looked pretty creepy until they revealed him and it looked like a generic robot. And then they introduced us to a new character, Optimus Primal. Yes, that's his name. Corny as hell, but look, I liked it, man. When they flee from their own planet because they got too overwhelmed by the enemies, Unicron comes and eats their planet, which I have to admit it was a pretty cool visual. Which then takes us to 90s Earth, so I guess technically this is a prequel. I'm not entirely sure if this is supposed to align with the other Transformers movies and they're doing a soft reboot, because continuity is all over the place and the events that happen near the end also makes me question, does anybody remember this? Why was this never mentioned in the first one? So, we meet our new protagonist, Noah Diaz. Yes, another human. Cut it right here for a second. The weakest part of these movies have always been the humans. And they keep making them with humans and they focus on the people more than the robots. Nobody watches these movies to see people. Can they please just make a badass movie with just the Autobots? Alright, so Noah Diaz is played by Anthony Nobody Ramos. Ramos. Probably that. I don't know. For the most part, Anthony Ramos holds his own as the lead in this movie. I don't think this will be the movie that'll break him into a star. The movie's pretty forgettable, and so is he. He didn't leave me with a performance that brought this movie to the next level. And when I was formulating my thoughts for this video, it was hard to remember an exact scene with him. He was just another body to be inserted into a main principal role just to have a reason to have a movie, I guess? I'm sure he was very happy, and good on him for scoring a lead in a big budget movie, but also the script didn't do him justice either. The dialogue was written by a toddler or an AI, or a mentally deranged toddler designed by an AI. The most generic lines felt like a Saturday morning cartoon. You know you can write an intelligent movie that also is easy for kids to follow, right? This movie also suffers from Disney Marvel comedy. It doesn't stop. Every moment they try to make it funny. I don't remember any emotional scene because they never let me have the time to sink in the moment. It always got derailed by a stupid joke, and I swear the jokes were written by a raging hormonal teen. Which does explain why Mirage was played by Pete Davidson. But there were two jokes that I actually thought was pretty funny. But the one joke that everyone laughed at in my theater was this one.
Human here.
I'm nobody. I ain't even seen nothing. I'm not even seeing anything right now.
Why? I saw this in the trailer and it wasn't funny, and it still isn't. Am I just bitter now, or do more people not have their brains on? To get back to Noah Diaz. I was so confused on what his character was supposed to be. With a very brief mention of him being in the military and then looking for security jobs, his personality didn't match up with the profession. To be in a position of that kind of job, you need to have a level of assertiveness, dominance, level-headed, calm, be by the book. But he was a little chaotic, a goof, he acted like a teenager, even though he wasn't. All things that just didn't line up what he was supposed to be. He acted like a child, but manned up in moments when the script needed him to. Who is this supposed to appeal to? This person isn't a real person. The type of character he is will fit more as an artsy person, like if he was a struggling actor. It would make more sense. Or if he was just a regular minimum wage worker. So this character Noah Diaz comes off as a good person, a loving brother, a loving son to his mom. He had a great job in the military being an electronic expert. He gets hit with a serious problem. His little brother has a medical condition and they don't have money to pay for it. So this honest man needs to get money. So I'm going to give you 4 options, and which one do you think he does? 1. Keep looking for a security job. 2. Apply to be a cop. 3. Find a minimum wage job. Or 4. Steal very expensive luxury cars. Yes, he picks number 4. Out of nowhere, from being ex-military to looking for security jobs, out of nowhere, he's just like, you know, I'm going to start stealing luxury cars. And the most frustrating part of this movie was her. I don't know what her name is because I never want to see her again. I'm just going to call her cartoon character. My God, her acting is abysmal. She's supposedly supposed to be this artifact researcher, and how do I know this? Because the movie told me she was, and she works in a museum, so she must be great at it. And she seems like she's in her late 20s, and considering her age, she hasn't had any actual life experience besides reading books, which is another reason why she shouldn't have gotten the job at the museum in the first place. She is literally a cartoon character, because even her personality doesn't even make sense. She's basically Awkwafina in Shang-Chi, but worse at acting. She's a literal clown or cartoon and doesn't feel like a real human. And she's just someone who knows things because the movie told us she's supposed to know it. For example, there was this temple and the entrance had a puzzle that needed to be solved. And she solved the puzzle in 5 seconds because she did a total of 1 minute research of the Transformer hieroglyphs, which is alien, and solved it. Damn, that makes Amy Adams in Arrival look like an amateur. Took her an entire 2-hour movie. And another thing, all she did was spin a few things that aligned with the patterns to open the door. So you're telling me, out of thousands of years this temple was around, nobody out of pure curiosity or just by accident moved it. Because they were pretty easy to spin. And then they praised her at the end of the movie for discovering this ancient temple, even though she did trespass, and considering where she was at the time, I'm pretty sure the laws are pretty severe. Oh yeah, did I mention her acting is dog shit? She couldn't hold or end a scene. Her delivery was awful. Let's pretend she got the role because she was the best out of hundreds of women that auditioned. If that's the case, holy cow, these actors have regressed in talent. But I think we all know why she got the part. If I had a nickel for every time these characters never got out of a situation that was dangerous, and actually moved in closer to it, I'd have enough to buy a Happy Meal. Guys, it's a nickel, man. That's a lot of damn nickels. There was a car chase scene with an Autobot being chased by a bunch of cops, and then it was crashing the cops, killing them for basically doing their job. And when I saw that, I just thought, aren't these the good guys? They should be just killing innocent people. Then Noah Diaz at the end of the movie becomes a legend title max prestiger. It makes me wonder why no one else in the other movies got the treatment that he did. And the best part of this movie was Unicorn saying, "You fool!" And then there was this volcano that had this massive contraption built into it. But, when was that built? This movie doesn't explain anything. The CGI at certain moments were questionable, but overall it was fine, but the action was great. You can't go wrong with giant robots fighting. There was a lot of satisfying moments. Optimus Prime, a complete badass, and even with some of the corniest lines, Peter Cullen delivers them with such awesomeness. What an amazing voice. And Bumblebee had an amazing scene too. This wasn't the best movie of the franchise, but it also wasn't the worst. You'll forget about it, but if you have a discount, or you could see the half price Tuesday just like me, then it's worth it. There's no actual talent or star power like Sheila Beef or Marky Mark, and definitely no Megan Fox. Megan. And this franchise probably should just stop and end it here, but they won't. They need to rethink, retool, and re-energize, because Transformers can be awesome, but you need the right people to deliver it to its full potential. But I gotta say the ending did get me a little excited. Was not expecting that. Alright, I'll shut up now. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and until my next one, ta-ta for now.